The Jim and Terry Show with hot takes. Hot takes. I love that phrase. What does it mean? Well, probably some derivative of breaking news. Breaking news. What's happening? Well, I use Twitter, formerly called Twitter, now X or whatever Elon Musk feels like calling his. Do I call it a failing social media platform? Well, whatever it is, I still use it to get latest breaking news from reliable people I consider reliable. How do I decide who is a reliable reporter, a purveyor of things that are more true than not true, things that have factual and evidence-based statements rather than claims of something or other? Well, history is one. History sort of reveals, put your money where your mouth is, say it, stake it, claim it as true, and let time reveal what is and what isn't. And in the course of many years, well, this is going to be 2015, and that's the year Trump decided to throw his hat in the political ring. I've been saying and following a certain stream of thought and belief. And all these years later, things seem to be at a point where you can say it with more assurance, more confidence that this is so, despite the naysayers. And there will be naysayers, and that's the way life is. But the proof of everything is the pudding. What kind of pudding do you prefer? Mine would be a butterscotch or perhaps a rice pudding, something like that. The pudding of the day seems to be Russian pudding. If you haven't been following this, then you need to take a look at social media feeds or the mainstream media, because this is being reported out on such major breaking news networks as CNN. Not that CNN is the exclusive purveyor of anything but trendy, latest, greatest stuff, but it is being reported there. What's the claim? I'll use this one from someone I follow. Mueller, she wrote. And this began to be a persona after the Mueller investigation of Trump. Did we find Russia? Despite what Trump claimed for years, nearly 8 years now, he's been saying, there's no Russia hoax, the Russian hoax, the fake Russian news. Yes, well, here we go. The Russian indictment featuring Tim Pool and Benny Johnson is just the beginning. We must elect Harrison Waltz so that this investigation can continue. If elected, Trump will kill it. Well, Trump kills everything, or as the book that I have indicates, everything Trump touches dies. Or, as my wife likes to say, everything Trump touches turns to shh. Yeah, that stuff. Appointing a special counsel won't matter. We have to get to the bottom of this, and there's a whole bunch that follows, and CNN has confirmed that the DOJ is pursuing a bunch of charges, not just, against Tim Pool and Benny Johnson for being, well, there's two categories of this. You either know what you are, so you are a blissfully unaware Russian tool, or you know what you are, and therefore you are complicit in the whole thing, purveying Russian talking points. Even my good friend Jim and I have waxed eloquent on this topic for years. When what you say is just straight from RT or any other Russian media source, you need to consider yourself a purveyor of Russian propaganda. Unless, of course, you somehow believe that you are somehow got more truth than somebody else, or you are aware of secret handshakes and secret societies, and you know that Russia's doing the best they can. Russia needs to win the Ukraine war. Russia. Yeah, if you start talking like Tucker Carlson, maybe you are a Russian asset. And who else in the GOP might be a Russian asset? Don't forget the NRA was charged with being a Russian asset. Do you remember Maria Butina? Actually, using her feminine charms and wiles to woo some NRA officials to create havoc using the NRA's platform of give us guns, give me freedom, give me liberty, and give me bigger guns. And on that note, we switch over to the latest school shootings in what state? Georgia. Why is that significant? Well, it's still going on. There hasn't been enough death, despite the fact that student killings are now the leading source of death in people in their teen years. Children being killed at school is the number one cause of death. Not a disease, not an infectious something or other. Guns. America hasn't figured it out yet. Everybody else in the world has. What's that? Do you have the market cornered on stupid? I'm not sure why it continues, except the GOP keep on getting in the way of passing meaningful legislation. Ooh, a nice slurp from the fresh brewed coffee. Well, that's just part of what's going on right now. Russia is a real thing. Influenced in the election of 2016. We all knew it. Not my president was a phrase that came out back in that day. One that I espoused in my belief that Trump would not have been elected without major social media influence from Russia. Subverting the American electorate. Okay, well, that was maybe true for 2016 when people were too gullible to think that they were being had. When people attended rallies that were sponsored by social media platforms, really? And to show up and find out there is no rally? Who's being had? There's so many incidents of these things that we have in public record to understand that America, you've been played. Not just America, Canada, you're being played. Same playbook, same people, same source. Russia. Only now the program in Canada is getting a bigger social impact as we see India step up and influence Canadian elections. India, China, Russia. Can you see a pattern? Why is Canada being influenced by foreign powers? Can we do anything about it? I'm concerned about things like Trump and Poilievre being from the same cloth, cut from the same fabric, populists with no policies. 3 words, say it all, incoherent, probably just give them an apple to munch on. But that's not all. Russia, school shooting, and then we have the Jagmeet Singh debacle. Jagmeet Singh, leader of the NDP, that's a left-of-center party in Canada, left of the Liberals. Getting things done for Canadians is probably how I would say the NDP is oriented. Getting things done, progressive, changing policies, changing laws, helping people in their lives. That's what the NDP is supposed to be about. And Jack Layton, to me, represented the peak of this idealism. Let's help Canada move into the 21st century. Social policies that impact change. Well, of course, the NDP and the Liberals have been painted with this color of LGBTQ overreach. And that will take me on to my next little leap of faith and over to the realm of prophets for Trump. I forget what her name is, but it's interesting to see that she's prophesying that the DNC was going to be a debacle, that the DNC, they would show their true colors, that they would show that they are evil. And yet the DNC was one of the most united conventions that I've ever witnessed, next to the Obama convention. A lot of energy, a lot of positivity going on there. Things need to change. Get back on the road to helping people, not putting people in graves because you didn't solve gun violence, not letting people go hungry because you refused to vote for school food programs, not to influence, not to take away the role of parents and their families, but to help so that parents can use funds for other things than worrying about whether the kids are going to eat at school, be able to focus at school, have rumblies in their tumblies, and whatever the phrase is that means kids are not able to focus on the lessons and learn what they need to learn in classes in Canada because they are hungry. National Food Program doesn't sound like interfering in parental rights, but that's the way the Conservatives are framing that policy. I'm not sure who would believe that, but there are those who just don't trust government, don't trust institutions, whether that is universities and expertise leading to policies on healthcare, public health policies. Follow the people with expertise? No, follow the what? The unschooled, the uneducated, the populace, the people who rant and rage loudest, who have the greatest number of followers on YouTube. Don't get me started. The Jim and Terry Show, where expertise is not what we're after, really, just so much as trying to get a cup of coffee between friends and deciding what is real, what may be a possibility, and what needs a sober second thought. Speaking of sober second thoughts, that's the moniker for the Canadian Senate, the body politic where senators are appointed, not elected, so there's no patronage, or is there? No way of looking at things without party affiliation? Well, Trudeau appointing a Conservative from New Democratic Manitoba. Looks good. Cross the aisle. Shake hands. Find people who are thinking of ways to help others, not get in the way, not run over people with a bus, a school bus, delivering food for kids in schools. The Jim and Terry Show signing off with a lot of controversies in the news. Breaking news. Bye-bye for now.